What's going on, guys? Happy Monday morning to you here. Track announcer Chris Griffin for Out of the Gate, our Monday show right here at Parks Racing as we get set to kick off another 3 days of live racing here in November. Hopefully you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with your family and friends. Well, we're right back to racing. Don't forget, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, first post times of 12:10 right here at Parks. Looks like a fast main track here this afternoon. I'm going to go through my selections, I should say. No guests today, just because with the holiday and whatnot. Looking forward to having a guest next week. Want to thank you, the fans, again for voting in the America's Best Racing Fan Award there for us. So hopefully we win. If we win that trophy, we're going to share it with you, the fans, right here at Parks Racing. Speaking of great racing coming up, we got the PA Breds in the nursery coming up next week. It's for 2-year-olds, and you know, when you start talking about these races, 7 furlongs, 2-year-olds, this could be an exciting race to see what these horses may do in the future. Good sprint, $100,000 stakes race. Those nominations are closed. They're going to draw for that tomorrow. Looking at that draw on Tuesday or Wednesday right here at Parks and the Nursery Stakes. It's always a great event. I think we got some nice 2-year-olds to take a look at. I'm going to have a preview for that race coming up for you a little bit later in the week into next week. So looking forward to the Nursery. That will be next Tuesday for the PA Breds right here at Parks. Let's start handicapping the 10 races on our card. Nice carryover in the Philly Big 5 as well. It's a jackpot bet. Just keep that in mind. I got the custom shirt for the show. I'm going to go back into my uniform right after the show. Don't worry about it here on Out of the Gate. Happy to have you join us. Frankie Pennington office mounts this afternoon, so just keep that in mind for our live racing. Let's take a look at race number 1. Top selection in here is the 3, Verrazano Vittoria. I think this horse has just got a little bit more speed than the main rivals. The number 2, Morissette and Storm Beam. They've got a late running style. They're going to run from far out of it, from the back of the pack, and I just think that Verrazano Vittoria, if you can excuse that last effort, this horse is going to come back and have a nice performance this afternoon, so we'll see if this horse can bounce back. The 3, top choice in the opener. Race number 2 is at 6 furlongs, 10,000 N1X, and I did a paddock preview here for this race, but the number 1, Petit Papillon, is a familiar name on this circuit, a familiar selection for me. I've picked this horse quite a few times, but this horse seems to do better with an inside draw. Likes the rail, likes the 1 of the 2 hole. You're going to see from this last race, the horse had trouble at the start, and we'll take a look at that run here in that last event. You see the spot shadow here on the 5. Horse is going to break from in between horses. There's some crowding here at the start. Kind of breaks awkwardly, breaks inward, crowds some of these runners towards the inside, and now this horse is going to have to engage this leader up on the front, buck some, and Le Petit Papillon doesn't clear off. This horse was coming out of a starter race, 5,000 prior to that. I think they're trying to find the right level with the one. You get Andy Hernandez back aboard here for Patricia Farrow. You get the weight break here with an apprentice jockey and Andy Hernandez. You get an inside post. We'll see what that price ends up being. I guess I'm a little concerned on what that price might end up being here with the rail draw. I think there's a lot of savvy handicappers out there that are going to see those things very similar to me, but you saw the trouble at the start, a little bit of class relief. Le Petit Papillon is the top selection there, the number 1. In today's second race. Hey, and if you want to wager on that race, why not do it on the new Parks Racing mobile app? Here's more information on the app right here from Parks.
Coming soon, an enhanced Parks Racing mobile app. The improved Parks mobile app will feature biometric login through fingerprint or face ID. View wagering information before building your wager. Customizable viewing options, hands betting and transaction history, helpful tips, and much more. The enhanced Parks mobile app, now available.
Get involved with the new Parks Racing mobile app. I've heard great reviews on the app. Don't forget, you can always tweet at Parks Racing, @In the Grandstand. If you want to reach me, find me on Instagram as well and follow along. Give your selections all Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when we're here for live racing. Race number 3 starts another pick 4 sequence, and these pick 4s have been nice. 50-cent minimum here in that pick 4, and number 7 towards the outside is going to be my top choice really on the day. I mean, I think Shirley Green, if you can catch any kind of value, if this horse goes off anything close to 5-2, based off of her last performance, I'd be all in here. You get Jamie Ness on a horse that comes from Churchill Downs off of a decent effort out of that maiden 10, but look at what this horse did at the maiden 16 level, and we're going to watch that replay. Visually, you have to understand what you're watching, and as a track announcer, I watch these races and see how horses are traveling, and Shirley Green, She didn't even break that well. She broke a little awkwardly in there. I thought she'd be a little closer to the pace, but watch this ride. I mean, she is not being asked. She cruises by Wow Factor. Wow Factor's well clear. Guess what? Wow Factor came back and won her next start. So that race comes out live. Shirley Green was not even asked in this effort. I hope we get 5-2. I think it's going to be a little shorter than that. You are going to get a rider change. Again, Frankie Pennington off his mounts, but we'll see what happens there with Shirley Green, but I think she's going to be very tough to handle there in today's third. Race number 4, we get into a very tough race in the sequence, $5,000 claiming race in here, and this is a tough one. You could go a lot of different directions, so I'm going to try and give you a price here with the number 5 heading home. Adam Bowman for Alejandro Memo. The horse ran on turf last time at Meadowlands. That was on the turf here in an optional, what was that, an optional 20 for state breds, down to 5,000. This looks like the spot for a long shot. Maybe I'm on the right one. If you really like Shirley Green there in that third race, this is a spread leg for me here in race number 4. I just think you can go a lot of different ways in here. Look for a price. It doesn't look like a short price wins today's 4th race, but that remains to be seen. I've been wrong once or twice before. Race number 5, 1 mile the distance, optional 16 race. A lot of laughs in the background there I can hear. Number 6 is Lean On E, and this horse has got an outside post here. Jomar Torres was aboard for the mount last time out. What you're not going to see in this replay, it's a little bit prior to this, if you want to go back and look at this October 27th effort, Jomar Torres and Lean On E, they were going to be caught in a pace battle. This horse was in between horses, backed off of that pace here on the backstretch, and then watch this rally here at the end. Lean On E is going to back off, and then he's going to tip to the outside. I'm going to have that replay on the live show when we bring that to you. So Lean On E, one to keep an eye on. That'll be my top pick, and then I've got a video replay coming up on the live show here later this afternoon. Race number 6 is going to kick off the Philly Big 5, 6 furlong, $7,500 claiming race in here. The number 7, Lazaretto, let's give this one a shot. Now, I know the form has been way better for Lazaretto on a wet surface. This is one to keep in mind. If this horse does not win or run well here on a fast main trek, then look for this one on a wet surface as we get into some of the winter months, maybe when we catch some wet weather. The number 7, Lazaretto, if this horse can run back to his 2-back performance, he's your winner. I just think that numbers-wise, that was the best race. He can rate. He can run from just off the pace. He can be on the front end. Angel Castillo at 8-1. Again, I'm price shopping a little bit. I'm trying to find a price there in race number 6 to kick off the Philly Big 5. It's a $7,500 claiming race, and it's a tough start to that sequence. It's a nice carryover, well over $100,000 in the Philly Big 5. So carryover jackpot, we'll talk about that throughout the afternoon, but put those tickets together. Pick 5 format. Always the last 5 races of the day with a 15% takeout. The Philly Big 5. It starts in race number 6, and we have 10 races. Obviously, starts in race number 6. Lazaretto might kick things off there at some value at 8-1. Hey, speaking of great jockeys, right here, second in the standings, Frankie Pennington. Off his mounts today, but we got a chance to catch up with Frankie and talk about his career. You know him very well. Parks Racing has known Frankie Pennington for a long time. He's a Hall of Fame rider, and he's been doing just as well this season. Continues to chase Ruben Silvera, who's atop the standings, but we got a chance to visit with jockey Frankie Pennington.
It started with my stepdad trains horses, and it all started in a cotton field in West Texas. My stepfather moved horses to Ohio. I went up there, then from Ohio, I met with my agent, Robert Martell, and we've been together ever since.
Jockey Frankie Pennington has been a fixture at Parks, but does he have the same passion when he gets up every morning?
Absolutely, yeah. The horses, they're unbelievable, and it's something I'm very lucky to do. That's my job, to come out and be able to get on horses every day.
Second leading rider in the standings, we asked Frankie what it's like in the late stages of a race when you know you're going to win.
It's a great feeling when you're sitting on them and they're just waiting for you to let them know, and you know in your head that you're going to win, and you just got so much underneath you, and it's fun because then it's just a waiting game after that.
Frankie Pennington has ridden many stakes horses, but there is one special one that does come to mind.
Maximus Mischief, great horse, he was just an unbelievable athlete, and it was something special.
While he doesn't have too much free time, Frankie does find time to enjoy life off the racetrack.
I do a lot of bass fishing. I do a lot of playing with my kids. Both of my kids ride horses too. They ride show horses, and that's my relax time with them.
Frankie, the father, has some advice for his kids and all kids wanting to be a jockey.
Well, you better think really long and hard, because it's a lot of commitment.
Frankie Pennington there talking about being a jockey, being a journeyman, and the tough journey that he's had, but he's really found a home right here in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Thanks again to Frankie and his entire team and letting us share those moments too with his kids. When he had them down in the winner's circle, that was a memorable moment from PA Derby Cotillion Day. He wins the big stakes race. The local rider gets to have his kids down there with the cowboy hats in the winner's circle. That's a special moment for a very great rider here at Parks Racing. Race number 7, we get into the late pick 4. Try to look at this sequence here, 50-cent minimum. This sequence got a little bit easier here in race number 7 because there's quite a few scratches. I'll have full scratches and changes coming up. But for me, the number 6 Board Certified looks to be a horse that can improve off the turf. Now moves to the dirt. Again, turf to dirt, I've said this has not been a winning angle for me. But you look at this horse coming out of that Laurel effort is by FedBiz. I think this horse is going to handle the dirt just fine. Paco Lopez aboard here for Jorge Duarte Jr. at this maiden $25,000 level. Dropped in class from a maiden special weight. And again, there are a few scratches in there, so keep an eye on these horses, these 2-year-olds when they come onto the racetrack. I'll go with the 6 Board Certified. I could see you spread a little bit Cuneo. You look at a horse like this putting the blinkers on, maybe that horse can improve. Also drops in class there for maiden special weights. Comes out of that race with Summary, Southern Runner, Don Giuseppe, Witty, and also Olivare. So that one's been facing quite a bit better in those 2 starts. Now drops in class here at the maiden $25,000 level here in today's 7th. Race number 8 is 7 furlongs, and Lido Legacy is going to be scratched out of there. Talk to the owners there. He'll be fine, just needed to scratch out of today's spot. But taking a look at the number 7, the Sakari, if this horse goes back to that last effort, this horse is going to be very tough to handle. Now, Ruben Silvera was aboard for the ride last time out. Jamie Rodriguez here this afternoon. This horse had a ground-saving trip towards the inside, and the Sakari, I don't know if he's going to get the same type of setup. I mean, this was a beautiful ride by your leading rider, and let's take a look at that replay. He's going to save ground to the inside. All these runners are going to fan out, and the Sakari is going to find room to the inside here, and he really closes well. But the leader was also not stopping. I mean, his main contender in here wasn't stopping in this race. New Commission just keeps on going. You take a look at this horse's finish, saves ground. Did he get, I wouldn't say a perfect trip, but he got an ideal trip and an ideal setup. They went 23, 46, 58 flat for a half-mile time. That's a competitive race in race number 8, and you take a look at those runners in that field. You can go a lot of different ways. The Sakari, don't take too short of a price, but again, we'll talk about that race a little later on this afternoon. Race number 9, number 4, DeRapper. This is another tough race in the sequence. I mean, these are nice field sizes, tough races. The number 4, DeRapper, I'll settle here. Ruben Silvera aboard here for Jamie Ness and a horse that hasn't won in quite some time. Here in 2021, 11 races, 1 win, 4 second-place finishes, so it's been settling for some minor placings. The number 4, DeRapper, will get the top selection for me. I'll also give Draina's Bullet. The number 9, 6-year-old gelding towards the outside, Jomar Torres. I do think Jomar Torres is getting on some live mounts. So if you're seeing some of the horses that he's getting aboard, maybe you want to take a second glance at some of those runners. This is a horse that's coming in here from a different circuit. We've seen some of these horses be very successful, and some of these horses also not performing very well. So I'm going to play against here in the exacta 4-9 there in race number 9. Race number 10, 10,000 N1X. Mock trial, I'll give this one a slight edge. Dexter Haddock here for Elias Tapsas. I've said it already, a tough race. Another tough race in the sequence here in the Philly Big 5. Mock trial, I'll give this one the edge, but there's some horses with some question marks in here. There's horses that are coming off of nice performances. Can they put those performances back to back? That remains to be seen here on this Monday afternoon. Hey, thanks again for joining us for the America's Best Racing Fan Vote. It's a tongue twister. It's a lot to say there. The America's Best Racing Fan Vote. Hopefully we are the winners here for the best short to mid-circuit racetrack right here at Parks Racing. We got the nursery coming up. We got all the great stakes races coming up at the end of December. I'm going to have some more guests joining us here on Out of the Gate here on Monday morning, so happy to have you join us wherever you are across the country or right here on track. I'm going to have full scratches and changes for you. I'm going to get dressed back in uniform here, but happy to have you join us right here at Parks Racing for another great week of live racing. Hopefully you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, getting set for a great holiday season. I'll be back next Monday with another episode of Out of the Gate, and I'll have full scratches and changes coming up right here at Parks Racing. See you here in about 20 minutes, right here from Parks.